We have got to get Viktor Orbán reelected as Prime Minister of Hungary, don't we?
Orbán lost the Hungarian election. We already covered that. And he's left behind, though, an extraordinary going away present in the form of the new Prime Minister, Peter Magyar, announcing that Hungary will no longer fund CPAC because he has discovered that the Hungarian government has been using their taxpayer money to fund that Republican Conservative Political Action Committee, that conference, Matt Schlapp's organization. You know, the annual gathering where Republicans go to pat each other on the back and see who's more MAGA and who can say the dumbest thing on stage. That was being funded by Viktor Orbán's government. And in a translated speech, Peter Magyar said, "I believe the state should have never financed them in the first place. It was a crime, and that it will be investigated by his future authorities." He specifically named CPAC and other right-wing organizations that were receiving Hungarian taxpayer dollars to promote Hungary's extreme right-wing views in the United States. Matt Schlapp, his response to that accusation on X, says that his organization was receiving foreign money. It wasn't a denial. What he posted was that he was gratified that Magyar had invited CPAC back to Hungary. He missed the entire point of what the new Hungarian Prime Minister had to say. He didn't say, "We're not receiving Hungarian government funds." Instead, he simply said, "Thanks for the invitation." Yikes. Bro, you completely missed the plot. And look, CPAC's own official account, by the way, released a statement on the day that Orbán lost, calling him a true example of a leader with strong conservative values. Posted it while the votes were still coming in. That's how confident they were. And of course, that's also how very, very wrong they were. Now look, in case you missed this part of civics class, the Foreign Agents Registration Act requires organizations that operate at the direction or in coordination with a foreign government has to register as foreign agents. That law, FARA, is the law that got Paul Manafort convicted. It's the law that got Michael Flynn in trouble. And CPAC has been the subject of allegations that they have been accepting foreign money for decades. Japan, Korea, Hungary, all of them alleged to have put money into CPAC to influence our elections, maybe? Oh no, do we have foreign interference in our elections? Is it helping the Republicans? Could be. You know, look, CPAC held conferences in Hungary 5 times. Orbán spoke at the American CPAC event. It is incestuous. And remember who Viktor Orbán is. A man that has silenced the press in his own country, who has interfered specifically with his elections, who has crafted his courts to make sure that they do his bidding. That's who the Trump administration, that's who CPAC was praising and accepting money from. And thankfully, the people of Hungary were sick and tired of this little bromance between Viktor Orbán and Donald Trump. And now, Peter Magyar is out there and putting a stop to all of it. Orbán lost, their blueprint lost. The model that they were trying to promote is nothing but a loser. And they are stepping up and putting a stop to something that we should put a stop to. The influence of our elections by dictators. Whether they're dictators in Budapest or whether they're dictators in Washington. And while no one else is really reporting on where CPAC gets their money from, independent journalists and independent channels like us are. And we depend on your support to keep going. So do me a favor, hit the subscription icon, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment. All of that matters.